Hello guys, it's Nikhil Roby Coleman, and I'm here with Tempo Financing. And on this channel, we teach you how to eliminate your debt. So today, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for being here, to be able to interpret to you and educate you and teach you on the lesson today. So today we're going to talk about traditional banking, and we're going to talk about tempo banking. We all have been taught how to use our money. The money that we earn, we all have been taught how to use it. We all have been taught how to manage it in a case, or budget it in if I may use that word, in a certain type of way. But I'm here to let you know that the traditional banking that we was taught, that we, keyword we, because I was in the same boat as you. The same thing that we was taught was completely wrong. It was completely wrong. We was misled, we was bamboozled, we was blinded by the teaching of what the banks and all these financial experts, so-called financial experts, told us to do with our money after we have earned it, after we have check deposited. So today I'm here to shed light and educate you and teach you on how is it that we're really supposed to take care of our finances and take control is the main thing. Take control of our finances so that we can have a better future and so that we can acquire true financial freedom. So let's get into it. Here we have traditional banking. I'm going to teach you what we was taught before I knew about tempo banking. This is what we was taught. We was taught to open up a bank account and create a savings and a checking account. Am I right? Right. And then we was taught to set up a direct deposit from your job. From your job, you was taught to set up a direct deposit so you don't have to get the check and get a hard copy of the check. They can just sweep the money straight to your account, direct deposit, and everything is all good, right? Then, right, they taught us to pay all our bills through an account and put the rest in savings. That's what we was taught. And it's not our parents' fault. It's not our grandparents' fault, because they was taught the same thing. And then these financial experts, they were just listening to these so-called financial experts and all these gurus that claim they knew everything about the banking, the finance world, the banking world, or however you want to name it. So they wanted to teach you. They taught us. They taught us to pay all our bills. Look at my diagram. They taught us to get the income, right? Put it in the bank. Let it go through the checking. And then we pay all our bills out of our checking account, right? And throw the remainder in our savings, thinking that we're going to truly acquire financial freedom through that. Come on, guys. That's straight BS. That's straight BS. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. This strategy that we are using, and a lot of us are still using it today. I'm no longer using it because I know better now. But a lot of Americans, hardworking Americans, using this today, and they cannot get over the hump. This is why you can't get over the hump, because you're going through a cycle. This is a cycle that's for losers. And I'm going to tell you why. This strategy helps you take no control of your finances, none whatsoever. You cannot get a handle on your finances if you go this way. You cannot get a handle on your debt if you go this way. You cannot get a handle on the struggles that you have financially by going this way, this strategy. It does not serve you. It don't serve you at all, not one bit. You're constantly going through a losing cycle. Okay, this is why. This strategy is old, weak, feeble. It has no true foundation. That's number one. Number two, there is no financial freedom. There is no financial freedom in this. There is no striving to be financially free in this. It doesn't help you at all. It doesn't help you. And then it's a losing cycle. Because guess what? You're going every week or every 2 weeks when you get your check, you deposit into the checking account, you pay your bills. And guess what you end up with? Nothing. Or you end up with a little bit of money left over from your checking account. Literally, every week or every 2 weeks. You either get paid weekly or bi-weekly. Some people might get paid monthly, depending on if you get Social Security or some type of benefits from the government. You get paid monthly. That's okay, that's fine. Still though, the cycle is still a losing cycle, because this is what you're doing. You already know what your expenses are. We talked about that in the last video. You know what your expenses are. Every month you pay your expenses, and then after that, whatever's left of that, you just put it in your savings, right? Right? And guess what? You still gotta eat. You still gotta pay bills. You just going in a circle. Sometimes you might have a little bit more than last month. Sometimes you might have a little bit less than last month. But it's the same cycle. You're not winning. You thinking you're creating an illusion for yourself to make you feel like you're getting ahead, but you're not. Because guess what? What happens to your savings in case of an emergency? What happens? Now that those savings that you had, gone. What if your car break down? What if your tire go flat and you gotta get a new tire? That little emergency savings that you had, getting that check every month, is gone. Now the things that you want to do, you can't do. The things that you want to enjoy, you can't enjoy. The places that you want to go, you can't go. Because of this cycle, because of this strategy. This strategy is going to have you deeper into what you're already in. So if you're already in debt, you're just going to get deeper in debt by going with this cycle. Because you could never get to your debt if you're constantly going in the same cycle. How could you ever get to your debt? After you pay all your bills, after you pay everything, your food, your groceries, childcare, insurance, after all of that, you only got a little bit of money left over. And you cannot use that towards your debt, because you're trying to enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. I know everybody like the Dave Ramsey philosophy of the beans and rice. Forget all that. That's dead. Nobody uses that. That's dead. That's dead. You're constantly beating your head against the wall to take one step forward when you don't even have to do that. So this is why this strategy, the traditional banking strategy, is not the right strategy. It is a lost mentality. It gives you a lost mentality. It gives you a low confidence, a low countenance about yourself. You don't feel worthy. You don't feel appreciated. You feel useless. Because every month after you pay all your bills, you still end up in the same place, and you're breaking your back at work, doing overtime, doing extra stuff, killing yourself just to get a couple extra dollars. It's pathetic. And that is not the way to live. And I don't encourage nobody to live this way. Thank God that I was fortunate enough to play in the NFL and play ball and get a nice significant amount of money. But guess what though? I had a significant amount of expenses too. Yeah, I was still gaining a lot I was still accumulating income, but I also had expenses to coincide with that. So I was looking at myself like, okay, I'm making all this money, but my expenses is mirroring the income that I'm making. That doesn't make sense. The whole goal is to spend as less as possible, right? And make as much as possible, right? So we want our expenses to be low. Not saying there's no such thing as budget, right? For example, expenses you want to pay anyways, so don't stress about it. Don't stress about expenses because you want to pay them anyways. That phone bill, you won't have to pay it regardless. That light bill, you won't have to pay it regardless. That water bill, you won't have to pay it regardless. So there's no need to complain about it, right? So that's what I mean by going through this. You're trying to gain. People love to say, "Oh, I'm trying to stack up. Oh, I'm trying to stack my money. I'm trying to stack my money." And when I listen to people like that, in my mind, I'm just like, you're so deceived by the financial industry, the banking industry, that you think that you're going to stack your money. You're never going to stack your money in this situation. In going with this strategy, the traditional banking strategy, you'll never do it. You'll never do it. You might make little gains, but things happen. It's called life. Life be lifing. Life happens. So don't be that one that's delusional, thinking that this is the strategy. Oh, I'm just gonna stack up, And every month, or every 2 weeks, or every week, your income come in, it go in the bank, it go in the checking, and then you pay your expenses, and then after that, you throw the remaining in the savings, and you call that stacking. That's not stacking. That's called circling. To end up right back in the same place that you ended up in. And you might get deeper into it because something might pop up. Because life be lifing. So this is why traditional banking doesn't work. It has no real foundation. It has no structure. It's feeble, it's weak, it's brittle. It can easily break. It's like trying to build a house made out of straws. It's like trying to build a house, it's trying to build a foundation based off of sand. It's not gonna work. It may feel like it's working, but it's not. But I have a solution to that. I have an answer to that. That's my job here. That's my purpose. My purpose to be a problem solver. When I was in the NFL, I was a problem solver. I had to be a problem solver. I had to find solutions on how to win and how to put my teammates in the best position for me to win. So now I'm transitioning to the financial world, and I'm going to try to put you in the best position to win. If you're willing and if you listen. Right? So with that being said, I played in the Super Bowl. I won an NFC championship. I know what it is to win. And I love to win. So I want to put you in a position to win. And the way that I can put you in a position to win is to give you solutions on how to win. Because everybody can complain about the problems, but nobody don't know how to solve them. They only can complain because they don't have the power to solve them. Thank God that He gave me the knowledge and the wisdom to be able to tell you this today. This is the real solution. The real solution is tempo banking. A lot of people call it velocity banking. But me, I call it tempo banking because it's all about tempo. Tempo, 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 tempo. It's about getting out of your struggles and your stress as fast as possible. And that's with tempo. Right? Getting out of your debts as quick as possible. That's with tempo. Tempo, tempo, tempo. Look up the definition of tempo and you'll understand why tempo banking is the best way to get out of debt and to get ahead of your situation and to truly gain financial freedom. Here we go. Tempo banking, right? Tempo banking is a strategy, right, that's revolving. Tempo banking, right? Tempo banking serves a winner cycle that takes you out of debt and puts you on track and ahead, right? So Remember we were just saying with traditional banking, how the income comes in the bank, and then you have the checking, then you have the savings. But you never thought about this, huh? What if you have a line of credit, right? Remember those expenses that we were talking about that you're already gonna pay, right? Think if you had a line of credit of $10,000, right? Think if you had a line of credit of $10,000, a revolving line of credit, which means it never ends. There's no time period on repayment. And you use this as your nest egg. You use this as a way to get out of debt and to get out of your troubling situations, and it can serve as a emergency policy as well, just in case you run into a flat tire or a child get a broken leg or anything like that. You still have the funds, right, to get yourself out of trouble, financial trouble. So with tempo banking, what happens is all that money that goes in your bank, right, savings and checking, you put that inside of the line of credit. Now, mind you, the line of credit is a $10,000 line of credit, and it can serve as a credit card and it can serve as a debit card. You can deposit money out and you can swipe the card as well. That's the unique thing about a line of credit. A line of credit isn't a credit card, so don't think of it like that, because it's not. It's not a credit card. It can serve a purpose as a credit card, and it can serve a purpose as a debit card as well. That's the beautiful thing about a line of credit. So think about if you had $10,000, right? You already have income coming in, and now you got $10,000, and that $10,000 is just revolving. It's revolving. It's just revolving. It constantly build up, build down, and it reloads. It's just a reloader. It constantly just goes in a circle. Think of a wash machine. It constantly goes in a circle. It washes your money. It just constantly washes your money. And what you do with it is you put your income into it, and then you take your expenses out of it. So every month you have your income, right? And you have your $10,000 line of credit, and it's revolving. You working, that's revolving, right? What income is? Income is money you receive, right, on a regular basis. This is revolving. So when you receive money, you also can take money out. It's a two-way instrument, right? A line of credit is a revolving line of credit. It's a two-way instrument tool. It is a debt weapon, right? You can pull money out and you can deposit money in. And it can serve as an emergency fund as well. So basically, this allows you, right, to take control of your situation, of your life. But first thing first, you gotta know what your situation is. You gotta know what your life is. You gotta know how much money coming out out of your expenses on whatever that you have going on. That's why I did in the last video, the video about expenses, income, and debt. Know your expenses and know your debt, and know your income. So now, when that is revolving, right, you can put money in, you can take money out. So imagine having a line of credit where you have $10,000 on it, right? You can pull your expenses out, pay your expenses, your rent, your utility bills, everything that you was paying out of here on this side, everything that you was paying out of here, and just paying it to the companies. You take the income and you put it in here, and then you pull out the expenses of the line of credit. That's what makes this powerful. That's what makes this tool amazing. This is what keeps you from financial trouble. But you got to stay true to it. You can't be using it for things that you don't need to be using it for. You have to be disciplined about this, and you have to truly want to get out of debt and to get ahead in order for this to work for you. Like before, you have expenses, right? You have income, right? You constantly spending money and you gaining money. But think about if you had an extra nest egg. So at the end of the day, this strategy is a strong strategy. It's a strong foundation, right? It's a foundation that's built on concrete, real tangible evidence that this strategy can build you up to acquire more wealth, right? It can build you up to get rid of and eliminate your debts so that you can get ahead of your financial future or be on track to gain your financial future, depending on what situation you're in. So it's a strong strategy. It allows you to gain control. It's a debt weapon. It's like when you have pests in your house. When you have pests in your house, right? What's the answer for it? Exterminator. Spray exterminator. Spray exterminator. Right? It's a solution. Same thing with this. When you have debt problems, a line of credit is the weapon for it. It's an exterminator. It exterminates the debt by using a line of credit. It serves as an emergency fund. What you mean by that? If anything happens, if anything pops up, because life be life. So if anything pops up, now you have some extra cash to take care of your situation. And guess what? You're still making money. You're still making money. This is revolving, and you're still making money. Right? That's the power in this. And we're going to talk more about a line of credit. So right now, if you don't understand what a line of credit is, it's fine. It's okay. Just stay with the videos. Keep watching the videos. Keep watching the videos that I upload, right? Keep watching them. They're going to serve a great purpose. You got to keep watching it in order to understand. But right now, I had to introduce it to you in this way to just get your mind going. Get your mind going. Start thinking about putting yourself in position to win. Start thinking about putting yourself in positions to be great. Start thinking about putting yourself in positions to acquire your future, the real future that you want. Lastly, this creates longevity, right? This creates longevity because this is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process. It never stops. Lastly, this keeps you on track and ahead. I said that throughout this whole video, that this keeps you on track and ahead. So if you behind, it gets you on track. If you already on track, it's gonna get you ahead, right? And that's what we wanna do. We wanna be on track and we wanna be ahead. And we wanna be on track to get ahead. And once we're ahead, we just keep going. We don't stop. We don't stop. So that is my spiel on today, is traditional banking, which is not the way, which is not what we want to do. Tempo banking, or some people call it velocity banking. This is what we want to do. This is the route we want to go. This is the path we want to take, right? Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, never intended for us to be stolen from. That's one of his commandments. Thou shalt not steal. Right now, when you use this, you're getting robbed. You're getting robbed of your opportunities. You're getting robbed of your situations. You're getting robbed of your financial freedom. So stop getting robbed. I'm screaming to the world, don't get robbed. Come on to the right side, the right way, which is tempo banking, and truly acquire your financial freedom. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really want you to keep looking at these videos, keep tuning in. I have more to come. Thank you. Have a great day.